Hi guys, this video I made exactly 5 years ago, end of September 2019. And this is just shocking for me when I just watched again. It's like everything absolutely 100% what I said 5 years ago, starting here in Atlanta after I disagreed with my mother's death. It's not just because of my mother's death disagreement, because I think that she was murdered, but about my father's nuclear research, his patent that's being used in impulse weapons, that Americans are dying, and including my mother. And I think impulse weapons was used on her, and that's why she suffered the brain damage. That when she died, for 2 days her body was lost in the morgue, and there was no medical exam done. Adds to conspiracy, in my opinion. And the gangstalking started after that, my apartment, and actually it's not just attempt to hijack, it's in the process to be taken away from me. Problems, provocations, and I'm just wondering, are they working on me? My opinion, yes. So please do watch this video. It's kind of a long, but there's not much I can do about it. And I will, if there is anything extra comes up for me when I watch this video and do a new one combination with new commentary and old video from this, I will simply add kind of inserts, and I will publish it and pin it everywhere on my social media. I tell to everybody, now on forums where I go about gangstalking, make sure that you keep a good record. Who is trying to make you homeless? You have to keep a very good record in order to kind of shove it up their nose when time comes. So don't forget that whoever wants you homeless, wants you out of this life and planet, let's put it this way. And not just that, it means they have a reason to do that to you. Not just the reason, but an interest. So if somebody wants you out of this, and like my father's research is used to kill people there with impulse weapons, it means those people are in some kind of a cahoots with people that want to do that. You see what I mean? So make sure, if it's your employer, or it's local government. If it's local government, it's very bad, because it means they have some kind of a desire of separation from the United States, or some kind of they're involved with some kind of foreign government, even though they use expressions like, oh, it's our country. So think about it. That's what it is. People who want you homeless, they throw you on the wolves on the street. And here in Atlanta, the gangs run the streets at night, and in some areas during the day as well. And de facto, you can end up lying in a ditch somewhere, and this is it for you. So here we go, guys. Starting. It's from September 2019.
Hi friends, thank you for all the good notes that you left on my previous video. And today I just wanted to talk about thing which is kind of a weird maybe for you, but I always wanted to do a video on homelessness and gangstalking. Well, I don't know how to put it directly, but this is what homeless is when you're gangstalked. It's just part of the attacks that you have. Actually, what is homelessness when you're targeted individuals? It's nothing else but removing a person from a stable area, which consists of your address, your workplace, and so on, so on, so on, so on, into the area that it's really murky and nobody sees what's happening between, every sunrise and sunset, and sometimes even after. What I'm saying is this, that homelessness, it's part again of one of the tools that gangstalkers use to attack, but this is going to be not a simple attack on targeted individuals. It's going to be a really vicious and worse attack, maybe that can lead to death. So let's start. Of the Americans, maybe I'm lying when talking about percentage, but let's put it this way, there are a lot that live from paycheck to paycheck. And actually, if you rent, in case of some kind of unexpected financial burden, a person can be evicted really fast when they are renting. So if they own a house or a condominium and so on and so on, as long as they, in some condominiums, as long as they pay a homeowners association fee, even they stop paying the mortgage, they still have several months until eviction. So it's really kind of a different situation where you live, what you do for a living, and so on and so on. But in the end, when we take all the things, is homelessness is it's meant for financial situations what you have with the banks, mortgages, and so on and so on. So imagine you are up to this point, right? So the homelessness is out there within a few days. So what you have to do something. You either have friends that you sleep on the couch, or you go and ask again friends that you can rent from them a room or something like this. Sometimes it's not exactly possible, and then you understand who is your friend, who is not.
Of course, there is another thing. You always can stay in a hotel, but it's not so simple. First, on the long run, is really expensive, and your resources can dry out. And later in this video, you will see that sometimes gangstalkers, when the gangstalk you make you homeless, they get involved in your employment place, and then you lose your employment, and then when you lose your employment, you lose income, and it starts a loop of horrible things.
So what happens next as a step? A person and they go apply for low-income housing and so on. So this is if you have income, because if you're one of the things the gangstalkers do before they put you on the street is they actually put you out of work. This way you have it. Then they make you to spend all of your resources, and that practically broke. Then one specific way, they make it the way that they have to kick you out. So usually if you live in a condominium, the homeowners association would close your door, put your stuff out. Or if you're renting, even faster, within a month you are out. Or something like this, month or two, I don't know, remember. It depends. It varies from state to state, and it varies from time of the year. I mean, they cannot kick you out when it's like, minus 25, right? But there is a procedure. But yet, I'm talking about the end as everything. So you are out. When you're out, you end up on the mercy of the state. If they give you place to go, then you do it. But most likely don't, because you see so many people out there. They're pushing carts with all the stuff they couldn't grab. Which, by the way, you cannot collect your old stuff and sell it because you don't have a time, because you're simply going to be kicked out really fast, and you take whatever you like. It's most important to you, and then you go. But this is what it is. So imagine average homeless person, the fresh homeless person. So they kick him out, and what he has a passport, American citizen or whatever citizen that he is. You have a ID in the form of driver's license or state ID, and you have the credit cards and so on and so on and so on. So what started happening? And I will tell it right away. This is what it is. In the homeless population, there are gangstalkers undercover. You have people who you don't know who they work for. They go around all the time. They hang around the shelter. They check out every new beginner who comes there and seeks for an answer. I'm sorry if they have some kind of a connection to the people that run it. I have no idea. I don't know what to tell you. I've never been honestly homeless, and I hope I never will be one.
You see, yet after 5 years, I faced this possibility that after my mother's death, there were several plays done against me. I call it mini operations. Like in Gangstalking, it's called destruction of a circle of stability. And I have no idea what's happened after.
Those young people, or I'm talking about young, I'm talking about new, I'm sorry. It's they're just fresh in a way to being homeless, and a lot of people are sometimes homeless becoming after 50, after 60. And there is they become momentarily interest for those type of gangsters, unless they already been interested in advance. For instance, if they are manipulated to be already under gangstalking operation, then it's even worse for them, because when they're pushed outside of their houses and apartments and so on and so on, they are being expected to show up the places where usually homeless go. And the gang stalkers, what they do, they just come there at a particular time and they do things, and then they go home and nobody knows. But they look always, kind of crappy with old clothing and so on and so on. But like they're homeless as well. But actually, they're not. They're the ones who actually, kind of look for specific people. And then next step goes in.
It's in a very rude way confiscating your unique property. If you know history, people who went in concentration camps were removed all their personal belongings from them.
It's one of those, a lot of people have, when they leave apartments, they don't have place or money to rent storage areas, and so they kind of carry this, see this homeless people that are with the shopping carts, and they have what actually they have. This is what it's most important for them. They were put in the decision. It's like in a war, grab whatever is more important for you and leave. The rest you're gonna lose. So they grab whatever is important. Family pictures. Family things that from their fathers, grandmothers, grandmothers, and so on. So this is personal stuff. They grab rings. So this is the wedding ring of my grandmother. This is the wedding ring of my grandfather. And so, you see, this is what it is. And then they leave. And practically what they do is home in general is in a way your castle. Your castle prevents intrusion and taking stuff away. But when person is homeless, and they walk the street, these people, they're gang stalkers, and they disperse within the homeless population. What they do, they attack you and take the most important part, related to your ancestry, to your identity, and so on and so on. Okay, this way you ended up with nothing. That this was very important for you, and this way, if police comes, sometimes you cannot prove your identity. Sometimes if immigration comes, you cannot prove your legal status in the United States or citizenship in the United States. And then it's like snowballing. If you are target, all those agencies go after you. As they remove all your information, and the cops or ICE or any type of organizations, they cannot check up on you, and you end up being some kind of illegal that can end up in deportation somewhere, and you can end up somewhere deported place when it's not your place, because it's all whatever government gives them to proceed with, then you go. And with the special deportations now, fast deportations in the United States, you can end up arrested within a few weeks and sent anywhere, and this is it. And nobody will know where you. But what happens is most important. All this your information can be given to somebody else. The fact is, again, that's why I'm saying it can be really, really very ugly and very violent identity hijacking. And the younger you are, the bigger target you are, because by hijacking your identity in a way, they can use it for many long years. And if you're 65 or 75, they can use your identity for very few short time. But if you're 20, they can use it for whole life, for anything. There's identity threat is really big business. So, if you end up homeless, you're really screwed in a way. But it's the same thing. You understand, if somebody whoever allow you to be one, it means that there is some kind of a local or federal government may be involved. Because in order to hijack your identity, they have to have some kind of access to your records, either state records or federal records. It means they have someone who changes those records in favor of somebody else, or simply erases them and destroys you as a person who lives. So practically what homelessness is, it's a field of dead field, can end up as dead field for some. People say that sometimes people live 12 years on the street, but when they're young. And when they're older, it's a couple of years, something like this, because a lot of people simply disappear, and a lot of people die. But the homelessness is, in my opinion, as a former TI, but it's created on purpose.
I strongly doubt that the gangstalkers will play with me for 2 years. Knowing, those are people who dealt with my father's murderers. This is what they did to my mother here in the United States, and I strongly doubt that, as I said, that they're going to play with me a long time. But simply, again, I repeat, what gangstalking is, what they do, they simply manipulate finances, then they will force financial institutions to do things. They push you out of the street, and then after you pushed out on the street, you become a physical target.
The homelessness area of life, it's a battlefield of targeted individuals against the perpetrators, and perpetrators are actually winning there. It's not just when somebody try to drive you to this area, it's very possible that it's very bloody. So
as I said before, I'm just repeating the same thing one more time because it's important. Make sure that you keep a good record who is trying to make you homeless? Those people, they're not your friends, even they make you feel like one. They're passive aggressive in order to destroy you.
That's why if you are approaching things, look for targeted individuals that the same way. Create a commune of some kind. I mean, let's put it this way, because as I said, it's really dangerous thing. It's they try to present it. It's like, oh, you know, there's a possibility of somebody. Yeah, there's a possibility of somebody. But if you're targeted individuals, if you are moved from a regular life to homelessness thing, it means that there's a big possibility that you have. If you are moved to a homelessness area, it can be really bad for you. And stay, try to keep your family closer. Have a good evening.